Yeah, well, it's going to be fascinating to see how that plays out. Trump is going to do Trump things. Now, I think one of the things we want to close with this week and spend a little bit of time on it is what's up with Justice Alito and his flags. A few weeks ago, we learned that he flew an upside down American flag, which, as you know, is a sign of distress, but more importantly, a sign of distress that many supporters of Trump flew right in January of 2021 to basically say that they stood with Stop the Steal and did it. Now there's a new flag, and I don't want to even try to name it because I would get it wrong. But there's a new flag that turns out was also flown on January 6th, and it was flown at Alito's vacation home. Uh, the first time he blamed his wife and a dispute she was having with a neighbor. Not sure what his excuse is this time, but boy, it just really makes you wonder what is what where are the priorities and where is even the belief that Supreme Court justices have a responsibility to portray to the American people that they are objective and they don't favor one side or the other. Now we know, obviously, since the appointment process is very partisan and there's a certain type of judge that Democrats will appoint and a certain type of judge that Republicans will appoint, we can't go ahead and be naive and realize or think that politics are never around. But this is just an over the top display, and it really speaks to just crazy judges. So,
Yeah,
what were
it's
your
called the
thoughts on the
Appeal to
whole
Heaven flag, by the way,
Alito
which is an
flag
insurrection
controversy?
flag, by the way, John. Yeah, this is we talked about it last week. I don't know how much I can expound on it. These are two insurrection flags. By the way, which John, for all those people who care about the American flag, they seem to really shit on it every chance they get, right? The Blue Lives Matter flag is anti-American. They literally had Confederate flags and Trump MAGA flags at the January 6th riots, where they flown them and they rose them into the Capitol, right? Now you have this two flags that the upside down American flag, which is a sign for insurrectionists, and the Appeal to Heaven flag, which is a sign for insurrectionists. And you talked about blaming his wife. This was at his vacation home for it wasn't just one day, from what I understand. It was like around January 6th to after Joe Biden got inaugurated, they flown this flag. So he clearly knew, and they clearly knew what they were doing. Um, Again, I'm not blaming Democrats. I know people are up in arms for Dick Durbin. I think he's right. I think it's a waste of time. He's not going anywhere. Alito is not going anywhere, and Durbin can't do anything about it. Can you hold a hearing and embarrass people? Sure. It doesn't lead anywhere. Can you? We talked about it last week. Impeachment's not going anywhere. Can you maybe pass a bill in the next Congress with hopefully Biden in the White House? Can you pass a bill to set term limits? I don't know how that works. Do you need 60? I have no idea, right? So I'm not in favor of blaming Democrats for this. The fact is, Alito, this is disqualifying. If you don't actually believe in the American Constitution, because he clearly doesn't, then you should not be on the Supreme Court. I don't know how to fix that. I'm not smart enough to understand how to fix that, but it's disqualifying. He shouldn't be on the bench. Thomas shouldn't be on the bench. Kavanaugh shouldn't be on the bench. And Cohen shouldn't be on the bench. It's crazy to think about, but here's what I will say to end this, at least my part of this. People are blaming Democrats for not doing anything about this. But what we should really be blaming is those people who didn't vote for Hillary in 2016. Because we kept yelling from the rooftop. I know people called it fear mongering, but we kept yelling from the rooftop that Trump was bad news and he could change literally decades worth of this country in one fall swoop. And he did. He was successful in that mission. And we were yelling from the rooftops. And what people did is they showed up and voted for a gorilla. They showed up and they voted for Bernie Sanders. They voted for Trump just to post it on their Twitter, even though they didn't believe in voting for Trump. And the fact is, if Hillary was the president, then we would either be in a 5-4 majority or we would be at a 5-4 with John Roberts being the tiebreaker, which he's gettable, right, in some cases. And the fact is, because we didn't show up for Hillary, that's the reason that this is happening. Democrats are Democratic voters should be blamed, but actual Democrats have there's nothing they can do in theory.
No, I don't disagree, and I think in addition to the people who didn't vote for Hillary, it's also the people who don't show up and in the midterms and make sure that we actually have Democrats, in Congress and in the Senate, because um, look, I feel good about our opportunity to maybe steal the Senate back, or keep the Senate. I shouldn't say steal the Senate back, but keep the Senate. Um, but that's going to only come if people understand that you don't just vote for president. You know, um, we've talked before, like, where our opportunities are, but I think this is all, as the summer goes on and Trump continues to have his legal problems. I think it's all kind of up in the air and academic at this point, right? We don't really know where we're going with a lot of this. It's gonna be crazy. It is gonna be legitimately crazy.